Hi, this is Mohit Suri.
Hi, this is Irshad Kamil and you are watching
On the scene, only on IMDb.
सैयारा मतलब तारों में एक तन्हा तारा खुद जल के जो रोशन करते जग ये सारा और वो तुम हो मेरे सैयारा.
What's one thing you admire about each other's creative process?
So I should tell first because the clarity of the director actually inspires a lyricist. And while working with Mohit sir, I always feel that he is crystal clear about every frame, every emotion, and that clarity, as I said, inspires you to write also and to give you something you have not done earlier.
You know, my first meeting with Irshad bhai was during Ashiki. And I remember him telling me that there are two films in my life that I would pay to write lyrics for. One was Mughal-e-Azam and the other one would be Ashiki. Because, that's the amount of passion that someone has. And then after that, I was working with him 12 years later. And the person still has that drive to add something. You know, he's someone who doesn't let go of a thought. He said, no, I'm not happy. I want to do something more. The title of the film somewhere was solid, although the idea was suggested by Sumanna Ghosh, the creative producer of this film. I would have not solidified this as the title if Irshad bhai didn't feel that lyrically this could sum up what my character is.
What was the original spark or emotion that inspired Saiyaara?
Well, there was a time when, post-COVID, people were making films that were all those blockbuster, larger-than-life films where a lot of buildings were blowing up, a lot of helicopters were blowing up, tanks were flying, cars were flying. Almost became like a Cold War of VFX shots with everyone. And everyone thought that was the norm. So I think at that time I saw this documentary on Netflix called The Romantics, which spoke about the angry young man and how someone came up with a romantic film at that time. And I suddenly felt that, I came up and started writing a newcomer romantic film because I felt love is something that, it can happen at all ages, but first love, first heartbreak happens around the age of 20, 25 or whatever. So that's when I started writing this, and so I was told by a lot of senior filmmakers that you're making a mistake, you're wasting money and time. Because no one's going to make a newcomer love story in today's day and age, and especially not for the theatres. I just felt there was a need at that moment where I as an audience wanted to watch a love story for youngsters. And here we are today. Because the minute Adi sir read the script and so did Akshay, they were like, this is what we want to make. We've been reading a lot of things, but this is what we want to make as a film.
Do visuals inspire the lyrics or do lyrics shape the scene?
See, basically for me, talking to director is the main thing. We talk a lot. बहुत बात होती है. And when we talk, then we try to understand, to reach to the creative spaces of each other. कि कौन कहाँ से आ रहा है, क्या कह रहा है. और जब हम वहाँ पहुँच जाते हैं, वहीं से क्रिएशन होती है. It's not about कि मैं विजुअल इंस्पायर कर रहा हूँ या ये मेरे वर्ड्स इंस्पायर कर रहे हैं इनके विजुअल. इट्स अ टू वे प्रोसेस. द आउटकम इज द सेटिस्फैक्शन ऑफ टू और more than two creatives.
I don't even think it's a two-way process. I think there's a multiple-way process.
Yeah.
Each thing has its own design. The thing is, a writer always interprets what an artist and puts it into a new way. In the end, it is his words that inspire the visuals that I shoot. Like, I didn't feel the need to add another. We were thinking of another song in the climax, but he wrote the last antara of Saiyaara. कि जिस रोज हम तुमसे. I realized I didn't need a whole other song. Because that song, that antara only added up to the last scene.
What was your brief to the debutant actors stepping into their roles?
The thing is with these kind of films which are so emotionally driven, and especially with a cast that is this young, you can't make this film like a foundation out of brick and stone and concrete and go very hard with it. It's like making a structure out of clay. You bend around the things, you mix and match. You watch, you see love through their eyes. The fact is, I am 44 years of age today, but I was 22 at one time. While the language has changed, the feelings are the same. So I think what I did is I saw it. I couldn't have made this anything better if I got people who were pretty closer to my age, I had to see it through these people's eyes to fall in love once again. And I think I've learned from them.
What was the most challenging part of the story to the film?
Finding out what makes their heart beat, this age group.
Which lines of the song do you think stay with the audience?
See, I tried my best that the audience should remember every line. So if I say this is the line, it means I am demeaning the other lines, man.
For me, I think that line stays the most.
Which one? सैयारा की तो बदला नहीं है, मौसम जरा सा रूठा हुआ है is obviously
Best way to,
yeah.
I'm hopelessly madly still in love with you forever.
सैयारा तू तो बदला नहीं है, मौसम जरा सा रूठा हुआ है.
What do you think works the most in your collaboration?
I feel liking someone's creativity, liking someone's work, try to associate yourself with that, in that periphery of creativity. कि ये आदमी बड़ा अच्छा काम करता है यार, इसके साथ इसकी periphery में रहना चाहिए, इसके creative जो discussions हैं उनमें बैठना चाहिए और कुछ सीखना चाहिए. So whenever I work यार, I try to learn a bit from Mohit Suri kind of directors. So मेरी तो वही एक learning भी है और वही मेरी एक मेरा हासिल भी है. That is what I think is working for us.
I think what works, I think, for me, and I think what is a mutual admiration for each other's talent or creativity. I think the basic thing is about he still has the ability to touch me with his words. There's one very funny thing I asked him to write for some 8 lines of a poetry that is there in this film. I think I got 80 lines or something. He said you use the whichever one. But that's what, if someone wants to do more than that, you ask them. I think it's really endearing. I think.
Do you need to see the edit or do you trust your gut while writing?
No. Script is the Bible, as it's said for the actors, and it's, I think, true for every technician.
But the songs came first and then the film came.
Yeah.
I'm very clear about that. I don't start shoot before the songs are done.
Right.
Until everyone's recorded.
What draws you back to the romance genre again and again?
This is just a personal experience. There was no thought in it. When I was 22 years of age, I was shooting a film and I worked in a company which made thrillers and stuff like that. And suddenly when I was shooting the love scenes, something told me like stop, everyone pause, and I just enjoyed shooting that. I remember it was a confrontation between Shamita and Imran before the song Wo Lamhe Ho Baatein starts. And we stopped outside a crane crossing and the whole drama between both of them fighting, but they both love each other, and me briefing them saying that, there's a difference when you fight. Even the way how mean you are with somebody, when you love them, you think there's a different way you fight with someone. I just realized that I liked shooting that part of that film. So I think you never decide your genre finds you.
Tell us 3 movies that should be on everyone's IMDb watch list.
Fight Club.
I'm a big fan of the whole Godfather series. I'm a big fan of the Mindhunter series. I think that's something that also should definitely be there.
Do you use IMDb? What has been your experience?
Who doesn't use IMDb? I've actually used it a lot more, not for my own films, but for everything else. Even seeing if people feel about the film the same way as you do. Sometimes even reading about your own films, you do realize what has worked for people and what hasn't. It's a great place to find out who worked on what and get the right person to do it.
And he said it all. Whenever some project comes to you and you are not very much familiar with the names, then you go there and you find out ke kya kiya hai, kitna kiya hai, and ultimately it gives you a confidence as a technician.
So that was a lot of fun, it seems. But for everyone out there, please watch Saiyaara.
And don't forget to review and rate it on IMDb.